Good morning and welcome back to Coffee Break with Florida Senior Living Association. We're excited today. We have Matt Just from Plan of Correction 365, along with Joe Signore from Tapestry Senior Living and Amanda Thorson from Inspiren. Thank you all for joining us. Matt, we're excited. We're glad you can make it. We're excited to share this all with the FSLA community. So why don't we go ahead and just get started? We have our coffee, so let's get rolling. So Matt, POC 365, Plan of Correction. How does it work in just a general sense? Can we get a quick little overview of how it might look to the outside eye?
Exactly. Yeah, thanks. And I appreciate the opportunity to be here on this coffee break to discuss Plan of Correction, and am equally appreciative of my two counterparts that were nice enough to join me today, Joe and Amanda. So thank you for that. Plan of Correction was originally developed by me as sort of a way to help skilled and senior living communities fight the battle against the survey process. So we developed Plan of Correction 365, which is an AI-driven compliance management platform. It analyzes survey findings, identifies regulatory requirements, and automatically generates a complete CMS and state-level focused Plan of Correction for you automatically just by uploading your survey documents. So we really take two different approaches to the survey process. One is sort of a retrospective and reactive approach, meaning when you get your survey document, you upload it to the platform, it writes your Plan of Correction. You're also able to do audits, policy and procedure review, and training and education document created for you on the fly, all with our AI-specific model that we've built. So that's the retrospective and reactive approach. We also have a very prospective model as well. So we also house and aggregate regional data to support organizations like FSLA in going to the legislature to battle for organizations in terms of new regulations, lowering of regulations, and really trending those regulations over time. So when you are a part of Plan of Correction 365, you're not only getting the benefit of ease of writing plans of correction, but you're also helping organizations like FSLA go to bat for you and other states at the legislature. So that's sort of an overarching view of what Plan of Correction 365 is and how it works. We have a large number of clients. We are growing very rapidly, and we're having very, very much success in this regulatory arena.
That's fantastic, and you're right. There's so many different layers that go along with it. On the backside that FSLA works with in terms of the legislator. So Amanda, you're a registered nurse, and you were with Tapestry, but are now currently at Inspiren. Can you talk briefly about your experience with Matt and POC 365?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, first of all, I've known Matt since 2007 through Mandana, the Minnesota Director of Nursing Association, where I met him, and we just kind of both have been like cheering each other on in our careers. So I just had to throw that out there that I appreciate being on this call with Matt. But when his program was brought to my attention, and I learned about it, and he shared everything. And as with Tapestry, I was like, we have to do this, because plans of correction are one of the biggest headaches that a director of nursing or a clinical nurse can experience, even administrators, if you're being honest, because you get the tags. Every surveyor that comes into your building and issues a tag, it's based off of a lot of times their perception of how they interpret rules, how they interpret regulations, and then you have to create a plan of correction based off of that. And it has to have certain timestamps, it has to have audit trails, it has to have the regulation language in it. And when you send it back into the state, they either can accept it or reject it. So when I started using the program with Matt and Joe at Tapestry, not one of our plans of correction got rejected after being run through his program and sending it through. It created just a seamless, procedure for us of what we needed to do for audits, policies, timelines, and submissions. And it actually took a lot of that like guesswork, because a lot of times we want to like overshare. We want to put a lot more information in than what's necessary. And it really dialed it down for us to just do, okay, you need these data points and this is what you need to submit. And it was accepted every time.
Carl, I guess that has to save a lot of time, yes, and just the efficiency of the company. And Joe, being the CEO of Tapestry Senior Living, efficiency has to be a pretty high priority for you. How did POC 365? How did it save hours during surveys, or in terms of consultant time, or just staff workload? How did that affect you, or how does it?
Well, as a smaller provider, our resources are limited. We do not have multiple disciplines in our sites. And so when Amanda brought POC 365 to my attention and asked if we can enroll in it, and for the nominal membership fee and so on, I looked at it as, okay, it's a lot for each building. It's a lot less than what's going to cost for nurse time, administrator time, to be able to put the POCs together. And then in most cases, and in my history, and even when I was an ED, they get kicked back, and it just takes more time. So when the first community came up for I believe it was a complaint survey, we put it through the platform, and what I saw was what would have typically taken us as a company and as an operation probably close to 14, maybe 16 days to turn around. We had it turned around and accepted within 7. So when you take a full week of labor time, a full week of not even just the labor time at the site, then you also have our corporate expense and oversight to make sure everything works. When Amanda was in her VP role, her time, my time, all of that got shrunk to a point where it just made the operation that much smoother. And then on top of that, it helps with from an efficiency standpoint at the site level with the line staff themselves, because you're shortening up a window to get them the tools that they need, and then they can actually then focus more on what they want to do, and that's the care side of what we do, not the paperwork side.
It's even better. Amanda, from your nursing perspective, how did this impact your team's stress and workflow during those survey periods?
Oh goodness, it made it so much easier. When you get a plan of correction, it's always a time of stress anyways, because you never know what tags you're going to get. You have an idea, but you don't necessarily get a list when a surveyor leaves your building of, you will get exactly this tag and this tag and this tag. You have an idea that give you generalization, but it's that waiting time of what am I actually going to get issued and how am I going to remedy this and send this plan of correction in. So when you take a director of nursing that's already going, or an ED administrator that's going, oh my gosh, I don't even know what tags I'm going to get. You get the plan of correction and then you submit it through the platform. That time cuts down drastically. I did a plan of correction that took me, the platform is so efficient that it runs through and it spits it out for you super fast, like minutes. You get it back to review and you can edit it based off of what you might need. But the best part about it is that it also searches for like the regulations by state. So when I was with Tapestry, I used it for multiple states and I didn't have to worry about hitting on all the rules and regulations. And a lot of times I think in this industry, and this pertains, I think, to everybody in general, a lot of our buildings and senior livings, you have brand new EDs, you have brand new director of nurses. They've never been in a leadership role before. And now you're telling them, oh, here's this regulatory plan of correction that you have to write, and it has to cross every T and dot every I. So go ahead and good luck. Let's see if it works. Otherwise, if it doesn't and you're not in compliance, there's fines, there's resurveys. So having that platform was security for them, time saving for them, and it just kind of shot up to everybody at like the VP level as well, to just be like, all right, we got this.
Yeah. And diving deeper into it, what features remove the most friction for you? Was it tag breakdowns? Was it audit tools? Was it training materials? What might have that have been?
Yeah, it was all of the above, because based off of what tag you get, you might be like, oh, this is an easy one, like a hand washing one. I already know what that I'm gonna get this tag. I know what to do. I know what to put it into place for. But if you get a more complex tag, you're going, okay, well, I don't even know where to begin to do a plan of correction for this. And you get no help from the state. The state will not say, this is your tag and this is how you have to remedy it. So that piece of it was huge. The second was, as you know, states constantly change their rules and regulations. We are one of the highest regulated industries in the United States, and we're supposed to come up with a plan of correction that meets everything that needs to be done. And then you have an audit schedule. Every, person in a leadership role in a building is already overwhelmed every day with paperwork, with, phone calls, emails, falls, abuse allegations, short staffing, call-ins. It's just always escalated. And then you have to make sure that you get this audit schedule down. It produces it for you. Like, oh, I know that today on Tuesday, December 16th, that I need to do this audit and have it check marked and submitted so that when I have my plan of correction review, it's done. So I can't say it's one specific thing because every tag is so different.
Yeah, I can't imagine. And speaking about how the legislation always changes, continuously changes, Matt, how does POC 365 stay up to date with the most latest, of legislation?
Yeah. That's a great question, Louis. So, we've really developed a custom AI model that does the search for you. So what we've done is we've trained our AI model on all 50 states' different regulatory issues and regulations in general. And so it already knows. When you have a change that occurs, our custom AI model can go out to the web and find that change and make alterations in its learning process as a result of that regulatory change. So we've designed the program to be very scalable in terms of when regulations change and if they change. And as a result, as a user, you're going to get the most up-to-date regulatory plan of correction that you can get in real time. So that's one way we really provided a lot of value to our clients and a lot of value to reduce operational disruptions within the community itself.
Absolutely. And Joe, when you were initially thinking of bringing on POC 365, how fast did your staff pick it up, or did you see any quick results from the implementation?
Well, the results that I saw were more or less the turnaround to get the POC out and approved in use, right? So for me, at my level and from looking down at my elevation, it was more the turnaround of putting it together and giving the tools to the individual so that they can move quickly, efficiently, and accurately. That was a big key. Now, anecdotally, I haven't really delved into pure data and analytics in terms of the true time and cost savings, but I can say this. We had a survey and I know Matt's aware of this. We had a survey in our Pennsylvania site. It was one of those surveys. We had a brand new surveyor. So, and I've always said this is one of the biggest problems in our industry is our surveyors it's all arbitrary. Half of them come from skilled nursing. They don't understand senior living, so on and so forth. It's an education issue with them. Then you get their arbitrary thought process on how the regulation reads, and it usually differs from how we see it. But what was interesting is that several tags were tied to one citation. So you got tag after tag after tag, and there was quite a few, 16 to 22 tags or something. Not happy about it, but it is what it is. And I had a conversation at the exit before we started implementing some of the plan and putting it into the system. My chief clinical officer, Terry, says to me, she goes, I don't know how we're going to do this. Matt's going to have to stay up all night helping us with this. There's no way we're going to get this done. And I kind of said, and truthfully, I didn't know. So the next morning I got up, I called Matt and I said, hey, did you get all the information from Pennsylvania? And he's like, yeah. And he goes, and I've already sent it back to your DON. And I go, you did? And I said, oh my God, I didn't expect you to do that so quickly. And he told me, it was about, 15 minutes of his time or whatever to help us. And I kind of laughed. And then I took that information, I went back to our team and they got it done. And we submitted to the state accepted it. And actually one of the tags we had did have a monetary citation to it. We were looking at not a big penalty, but a penalty nonetheless. And they actually eliminated the penalty for us. They did not enforce the penalty. So when you take those costs and you take those situations, and the amount of time that it saved exponentially, it to say it pays for itself is an understatement. It actually pays for itself years and years and years over time. So the amount of time that we saved on that actually would have been able to probably pay for the system for probably 5 to 6 years for my company, not just for one site.
Wow. That's a no-brainer then.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Matt, and on the operational side, how does POC 365, how does it support collaboration across departments? Whether it be clinical.
Right. So we really, when we started developing the platform, we really broke down the survey process into small, easy to bite chunks. And so what we looked at is we were looking for a way that we can provide high value, high efficiency for a low cost, and also be attuned to the fact that different organizations may have different hands in the survey process. So if you're a larger organization, you may have several different layers in that survey process in whole. And so we really designed the system to work across multiple departments, multiple organizations, but then also multiple layers of individuals that are involved in the plan of correction writing process. So what that means is that if you have a director of nursing at the site level that is responsible for initially writing the plan of correction, that can be completed very quickly. But then you can also have different regional individuals and operational individuals involved in the process of reviewing the plan of correction that was initially written by our AI-derived system, and then sort of signing off on that plan of correction as a result. So it not only writes a plan of correction for you, does your audits, your policies, and creates training and education documents, but it also provides a wonderful bird's eye corporate picture view of how our survey is going on in our 20 buildings across 5 states. And you have that ability to really leverage AI to say, hey, give me the most written tags in hand hygiene in washing. And so you have the ability to really drive down the data as far as you want to as an organization. And so that's, one of the big improvements, and one of the big things that we wanted in the system is the ability for it to work from a scaling standpoint, from an operator who has 5 different communities to an operator who has a couple hundred communities underneath them.
Definitely. Amanda, we're going to keep going back to the nurse's perspective, but it's so vital in terms of POC 365. How might you address if an operator or a director of nursing were to be hesitant to adopt this new sort of technology? How might you address that?
Oh my goodness, their time with it. If they were hesitant, I would ask them to pull their last survey that they had with their tags and their plan of correction that they had written. The nice thing about the platform and working with Matt is that if you pulled your last survey in the form that it comes in, he would run it through the platform for you to show like what that comparison is. Like right off the bat within, your first meeting with the POC platform, you're going to see the incredible difference of everything that's laid out, and you can compare it to the work you actually did from your last survey.
Yeah.
Yeah, no maintenance.
Matt, we'll finish off with this. if you had to summarize Plan of Correction 365 in one sentence, how would you do so?
Well, I would say Plan of Correction 365, we're the bridge between regulatory chaos and operational clarity in a lot of ways. We're giving communities the ability to respond quicker and faster and smarter to regulatory issues and provide them a more confident path through the survey process in general. And so we really focus on reducing those operational disruptions, improving efficiency from a time perspective, and really taking the mundane work of writing a plan of correction off of the director of nursing or administrator's plate and making it very, very simple and easy.
Fantastic. And if anyone seeing this coffee break is interested in implementing POC 365, or are you the guy to reach out to?
Correct. Yes, I am the owner and the developer of Plan of Correction 365. And yes, I'd be happy to chat or do a discovery session with anyone that might be interested. My website is planofcorrection365.ai. And so please reach out via the contact form there. Even users can sign up on their own on the website. You don't have to go through me. However, I like to do a nice discovery session to really show the user the features of the platform and the capabilities that it has and how it can improve their operations.
That's fantastic. Joe, Amanda, Matt, thank you for joining us for this coffee break with the Florida Senior Living Association. We're excited for our next cup. Stay tuned. Until then, thank you again, and we'll see you next time.